Jim Rohn used to say, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." And most people do the opposite. They design easier plans, softer plans, plans that protect their ego instead of stretching their capacity. And then they wonder why life does not move. Look at your plans closely. Are they built around comfort? Are they built around what feels realistic or what feels safe? Because there is a difference, a dangerous difference. You tell yourself you're being practical. You tell yourself you're being patient. You say, "I'll start when things calm down. I'll go bigger next year. I just need more confidence." But confidence does not come before the climb. It comes because of it. And if your plans are designed to avoid pressure, avoid embarrassment, avoid risk, then your plans are not a strategy for growth. They are a strategy for hiding. And hiding is expensive. You see, the world does not pay you for your intentions. It pays you for your transformation. It does not reward effort alone. It rewards value. And value is created under tension. Steel is not forged in comfort. Muscles are not built in ease. Character is not formed in convenience. Yet your plan might be a comfort blanket disguised as ambition. You say you want to build wealth, but your plan requires no new skills, no new network, no public exposure, no uncomfortable conversations. You want results without evolution. That is fantasy. And fantasy is the most dangerous drug of all because it feels productive while keeping you stagnant. You write goals, you watch videos, you talk about discipline, but your daily behavior is untouched. Your circle is unchanged. Your standards are the same. If your plans do not demand a new version of you, they are not plans, they are entertainment. But there is a deeper, more dangerous truth we haven't touched yet. Sometimes the problem isn't that your plan is too small, it's that it's too vague. You say, "I want to be successful." That means nothing. Successful at what? By when? With what skill? For whom? Ambiguity protects you from accountability. If you never define the target clearly, you can never miss. And if you never miss, your ego stays intact. But so does your mediocrity. High achievers are specific, brutally specific. They know their numbers, they know their deadlines, they know the price they must pay. You, on the other hand, might be negotiating with reality. I'll try. I'll see. Let's hope. Hope is not a strategy. It is a supplement, and supplements do not replace discipline. You must understand something uncomfortable. Life does not respond to your wishes. It responds to your standards. If your standards are low, your results will match. If your standards are flexible, your outcomes will bend downward. And if your plan is built on motivation alone, you are building on sand. Motivation is a spark. Discipline is the engine. The question is not whether your plan looks good. The question is whether your plan forces growth. Does it require you to wake up earlier than you want? Speak when you'd rather stay silent? Invest when you feel uncertain? Study when others scroll? Or does it allow you to remain who you are, just slightly busier? There is a silent tragedy happening in millions of lives. People mistake activity for progress. They are busy, always busy. Meetings, notes, podcasts, side projects. But nothing compounds, nothing scales, nothing transforms, because busyness feels productive without demanding courage. Courage is expensive. Courage means quitting the job that slowly kills your ambition. Courage means telling your friends you're aiming higher. Courage means risking being misunderstood. And most plans avoid courage. They are engineered to minimize social friction. You say you want to start a business, but your plan keeps it secret. Why? Because if you fail, no one will know. You have protected your pride, but you have also limited your accountability. There is something powerful about public commitment. It sharpens your focus. It increases your pain tolerance. It forces you to grow. But there is an even deeper truth we haven't uncovered yet. Some plans fail, not because they are too safe, but because they are copied. You saw someone else succeed with a blueprint. You downloaded their roadmap. You tried to replicate their rhythm, but their strengths are not yours. Their timing is not yours. Their circumstances are not yours. And when you build a life from someone else's blueprint, you inherit their blind spots. Jim Rohn taught that success leaves clues, but he never said to abandon your own design. Clues are guidance, not identity. If your plan looks exactly like everyone else's, you may not be building a future, you may be joining a crowd. And crowds move slowly. Individuality requires thought. It requires self-awareness. It requires brutal honesty. What are you actually good at? What do you actually enjoy? Where do you actually have leverage? Most people skip this step because it requires silence, reflection, time alone with uncomfortable questions, so they adopt trends. Crypto, dropshipping, YouTube, real estate, AI. They chase whatever looks hot, not what aligns. And when the trend cools, so does their discipline. Because discipline without alignment is temporary. You can force yourself for a while. But if your plan is not connected to your core values, it will eventually collapse. But let's go even deeper. Sometimes the danger isn't in the size of your plan, or the clarity, or the originality. It's in the timeline. If your plan requires 5 years of sacrifice, but you expect results in 6 months, you will quit. Expectation misalignment is a silent killer. You plant a seed and dig it up every week to check if it's growing. You measure progress daily when the game requires seasons. The oak tree does not apologize for growing slowly. It builds roots first, and roots are invisible. You might be in the root phase right now, but if your plan does not account for that, if it demands immediate validation, you will abandon it too early. Patience is not passive. It is disciplined waiting. It is showing up without applause, improving without recognition, investing without guarantee. If your plan depends on applause to survive, it will die in silence. But there is another layer, a psychological layer most people ignore. Your plan may look ambitious on paper, but subconsciously, you may not believe you deserve it. And belief shapes behavior. If deep down you think wealth is for other people, success is for geniuses, leadership is for extroverts, your actions will sabotage your goals. You will hesitate at critical moments. You will undercharge. You will underspeak. You will self-reject before the world even responds. A weak self-image will shrink a strong plan. And this is why personal development is not optional. It is foundational. You must grow your identity alongside your goals. Because income rarely exceeds personal development, responsibility attracts opportunity. If your plan increases your desires but not your capacity, pressure will crush you. That is why some people win the lottery and lose everything. The money outgrew the mind. So ask yourself, is your plan building your character, or just your checklist? Are you becoming more disciplined, more articulate, more resilient, more valuable? Or are you simply hoping the external world shifts in your favor? Hope is fragile. Character is durable. But here is something even more uncomfortable. Your environment may be incompatible with your plan. You want excellence, but your circle celebrates mediocrity. You want discipline, but your friends reward indulgence. You want wealth, but your family criticizes ambition. Environment is not neutral. It is influential. If you place a seed in toxic soil, it struggles. If you surround yourself with small thinking, your thinking shrinks. You must either elevate your circle or limit your exposure. And that requires courage again. Because growth is lonely in the beginning. People will call you obsessed, arrogant, different. They are right. Different is required. But there is a deeper danger still. Sometimes your plan fails because it is reactive. You are running from pain instead of toward purpose. You hate your job, so you plan to quit. You're broke, so you plan to make money. You're heartbroken, so you plan to level up. Pain can ignite action, but it cannot sustain vision. If your plan is built solely on escape, what happens when the pain fades? You slow down. Purpose outlasts pain. You need something bigger than avoidance, bigger than revenge, bigger than ego. You need contribution. Who benefits when you succeed? Whose life improves when you grow? When your plan connects to service, your energy multiplies. Because now it's not just about you, and that shifts everything. But let's address something subtle. Many plans fail because they are too complicated. You have a 17-step morning routine, 5 side hustles, 3 investment strategies, a 12-month reading list, a strict diet, a gym plan. Complexity feels impressive, but simplicity scales. The most powerful plans are boring. Wake up, study, work, improve, repeat. Consistency beats intensity. If your plan requires perfect conditions, perfect mood, perfect timing, it will collapse under real life. Designed for chaos, designed for fatigue, designed for bad days because bad days are guaranteed. The question is not whether you will feel discouraged. The question is whether your system carries you when motivation disappears. But here's the truth most people avoid. Your plan might be fine, you might be the problem, not your intelligence, not your background, your excuses. Excuses are creative, elegant, logical. I don't have time. I don't have money. I don't have connections. But time is created by priorities. Money is attracted by value. Connections are built by contribution. Excuses feel protective. They preserve your self-esteem, but they destroy your potential. And if you protect your excuses more than your future will shrink. Now you must become ruthless with your own reasoning. Catch yourself when you justify procrastination. Catch yourself when you negotiate with discipline. Catch yourself when you lower standards to avoid discomfort. Self-awareness is the beginning of transformation. But here's the deeper, more dangerous truth we've been circling around. If your plan does not scare you, it probably won't change you. Growth requires friction. If you are completely comfortable with your plan, it likely fits your current identity. And if it fits your current identity, it will produce familiar results. You don't need familiar results, you need evolution. And evolution is uncomfortable. So look at your plan again. Does it require you to speak publicly if you fear judgment? Does it require you to sell if you fear rejection? Does it require you to lead if you fear responsibility? Or does it allow you to remain hidden? Hidden talent does not compound. Exposure builds edge. You must be willing to be seen trying, seen failing, seen learning, because the marketplace rewards visibility tied to value. Silence may feel safe, but it is invisible, and invisible rarely becomes influential. But let's go even further. Time is not patient with your hesitation. You think you have years, decades. But seasons change quickly. Energy declines, responsibilities increase, opportunities close. The best time to raise your standards was yesterday. The second best time is now, not next month, not after Ramadan, not after the new year, now, because delay is seductive. You feel busy planning, preparing, researching. But research without execution is disguised fear. At some point, you must jump. And you will not feel ready. No one does. Readiness is a myth created by those who are afraid to begin. Action creates clarity. Movement creates momentum. And momentum builds belief. You do not think your way into confidence. You act your way into it. But there is one final layer. Your plan must account for who you are becoming, not who you have been. Stop building based on past limitations. Stop referencing old failures as permanent identity. You are not your previous income, not your last mistake, not your current circle. You are potential in motion, but potential unused becomes regret, and regret is heavy. It whispers at night. It lingers in old age. It asks, what if? What if you had raised your standards? What if you had spoken up? What if you had risked embarrassment? What if you had committed fully instead of partially? Partial commitment produces partial results. You cannot dip your toe into greatness. You must step in fully, burn the ships, close the back door, decide. Because decision is power, indecision is erosion. Every day you hesitate, you weaken your own authority over your life. But every day you act with intention, you strengthen it. This is not about hype. This is about structure. Design a plan that demands growth. Define it clearly. Align it with your strengths. Attach it to purpose. Simplify it. Execute daily. Elevate your environment. Strengthen your identity. And remove excuses without mercy. If your plans look like comfort, you may be in trouble. If your plans look like everyone else's, now you may be in trouble. If your plans protect your ego more than they stretch your character, you are definitely in trouble. But here's the good news. You can redesign. You can decide again. You can raise the standard tonight, not tomorrow. Tonight, because the future is not something you enter. It is something you build. And you build it with the plans you are brave enough to execute. So look at your plans, not with pride, with honesty. Ask yourself, do these plans demand a new me? Do they require discipline? Do they stretch my thinking? Do they increase my value? If not, you may already be in trouble. And remember how we began. If your plans look like this, neat, safe, comfortable, you may already be in trouble because you don't need safer plans. You need a stronger you. You can write a 10-year vision. You can talk about legacy, freedom, impact. But if you still wake up without urgency, still drift through your mornings, still negotiate with your own alarms, your plan is fiction. Jim Rohn used to say, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day, not once a week, not when inspired, every day. And this is where most plans quietly collapse. They are built on outcomes instead of disciplines. You want the physique, but not the daily training. You want the wealth, but not the daily skill building. You want the influence, but not the daily communication reps. Outcomes are attractive, disciplines are repetitive, and repetition is boring. But boring is powerful. The oak tree doesn't grow in dramatic bursts. It grows slowly, consistently, invisibly, day after day. And one day it's unshakable. If your plan depends on dramatic breakthroughs instead of daily discipline, you are gambling with your future. And gambling feels exciting until you lose. But there is a deeper issue we haven't touched yet, your emotional control. If your plan looks strong, but your emotions are unstable, you are in trouble because life will test you. Clients will disappoint you. Investments will drop. People will doubt you. Family may misunderstand you. Results may stall. And if every obstacle shakes your belief, your plan won't survive its first storm. Stoicism teaches something most modern ambition ignores. You do not control events. You control your response. If your plan requires perfect external conditions to function, it is fragile. Fragile plans break under pressure. Strong plans anticipate pressure. You must build emotional endurance alongside strategic clarity. Can you keep working when no one claps? Can you stay consistent when results are invisible? Can you remain calm when others panic? Because markets panic, people panic. Opportunities hide inside chaos. If your emotions dictate your effort will fluctuate, and fluctuating effort produces inconsistent results. Consistency is a superpower in a world addicted to moods. But here's the uncomfortable layer beneath that. Your standards might be conditional. You say, I'm disciplined when I feel good. I'm focused when I'm motivated. I'm committed unless something urgent comes up. That's not commitment. That's convenience. Real commitment does not negotiate with feelings. If your plan allows too many emotional exits, you will take them. You need fewer escape doors. When the decision is already made, the battle is shorter. I work out, period. I study, period. I build, period. No debate. Debate drains energy. And here's the deeper, more dangerous truth we haven't explored yet. If your plan is built without understanding sacrifice, you are in trouble. Every gain demands loss. More focus means less distraction. More growth means fewer lazy conversations. More ambition means fewer average environments. You cannot upgrade your life without outgrowing parts of it, but most people want addition without subtraction. They want success plus comfort, growth plus approval, wealth plus unlimited leisure. Life does not work that way. To gain one level, you must release another. And if your plan doesn't clearly define what you are willing to sacrifice, the moment sacrifice appears, you will retreat. Write this down mentally. Clarity of sacrifice protects commitment. If you know what you're giving up in advance, it won't shock you when it arrives. But if you expect the journey to be smooth, you will interpret friction as failure. Friction is proof you're moving. Let's go even deeper. Your plan may fail because it ignores skill stacking. You say, I want to earn more. But how? Have you increased your communication skills, your negotiation skills, your sales skills, your leadership skills, your technical depth? Income follows value. Value follows skill. If your plan focuses on income without focusing on skill acquisition, it is upside down. The marketplace does not reward need, it rewards usefulness. And usefulness is developed intentionally. Most people want a new income without becoming a new person. That is why their results plateau. The dangerous question is this: who are you becoming in the process? Are you becoming sharper, more articulate, more disciplined, or are you simply chasing outcomes while remaining the same? Because if you remain the same, your ceiling remains the same. But there's another silent threat: comparison. If your plan is influenced heavily by what others are doing, you are in trouble. Comparison distorts timelines. You see someone your age, earning more, growing faster, traveling further, and suddenly your plan feels slow, so you rush. You change strategy too quickly. You abandon long-term compounding. You chase speed over depth. But depth builds durability. Rushing creates cracks. The bamboo tree grows underground for years before breaking the surface, then it shoots up rapidly, but only because the foundation was built in silence. If you keep uprooting yourself to chase someone else's pace, you will never build roots. Patience is not weakness, it is strategic strength. Now let's address something even more subtle: energy management. Your plan may look organized, but if it ignores your energy cycles, it will fail. Are you doing deep work when your mind is sharp? Are you resting strategically? Are you protecting your focus from constant digital noise? Attention is currency. If your plan does not guard your attention, your progress will be fragmented. You cannot build a powerful future with a distracted mind. Social media consumes ambition quietly. Scrolling feels harmless, but it fragments thought, weakens focus, trains your brain for novelty instead of mastery, and mastery requires sustained concentration. If your plan includes growth, but your daily habits include endless distraction, you are in conflict with yourself. Internal conflict drains power. Alignment multiplies it. But there is a final layer that most people never confront: fear of responsibility. Success is heavy. More income means more decisions. More influence means more accountability. More visibility means more criticism. Deep down, you might fear the weight of success. So you unconsciously design smaller plans, safer plans, plans that allow you to say, "I tried," without ever truly risking transformation. Ask yourself honestly, if this plan fully succeeds, can I handle the responsibility that comes with it? Because growth is not just about receiving more. It is about carrying more. And if you are not strengthening your shoulders, the weight will feel unbearable. This is why character development must run parallel with ambition, integrity, self-control, resilience, humility. Without these, success amplifies weakness. With these, success amplifies strength. Now let's bring this home. Imagine yourself 5 years from now. Same routines, same excuses, same circle, same income bracket, same self-doubt. It won't happen suddenly, it will happen gradually. Through small compromises, missed mornings, unfinished commitments, lowered standards. Mediocrity is not dramatic. It is subtle, and that is why it is dangerous. But imagine another version, 5 years from now. Stronger mind, sharpened skills, expanded network, disciplined habits, clear reputation, financial momentum. That future is not built by motivation. It is built by redesigned plans executed with relentless consistency. So here's the real test. When you look at your current plan, does it stretch your identity? Does it demand structure? Does it demand sacrifice? Does it demand skill? Does it demand emotional control? Does it demand long-term patience? If not, adjust it, raise it, tighten it, simplify it, but commit to it fully, because partial commitment is a slow leak, and slow leaks sink ships. You don't need more inspiration, you need higher standards. You don't need more information, you need more execution. You don't need a perfect plan, you need a disciplined system, and you need the courage to outgrow who you've been. If your plans look like comfort, you are in danger. If your plans look like trends, you are in danger. If your plans avoid sacrifice, responsibility, and discipline, you are already drifting. But if you redesign them with honesty, clarity, and strength, you give yourself a chance, a real chance, not at fantasy success, at earned success. So tonight, don't just feel motivated, audit your plan, audit your habits, audit your circle, audit your identity, and ask the question most people avoid: is this plan building the person capable of the future I say I want? If the answer is no, then you know what must change. Because if your plans look like this, neat, safe, comfortable, you may already be in trouble. And you don't need safer plans. You need a stronger you.